Hello, hello, Leo. Welcome to your March 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Leo. And before we get started, go ahead and take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. It is going to fill you in on all of the exciting things that I have coming up. I have some classes that are in the queue that I'm going to be launching and other good things. So make sure you check that out. And if you have any other info on if you need any other info about working with me, go to onyxhealing.com. Everything is there. If you need to book a reading for yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and lay this out and then we will get started. Okay, let's go ahead and look at your oracle cards first. So we have Whale. Okay, I think you're doing deep work. There's something about depth that's coming up with this card, and it just, to me, this looks like self-discovery. It looks like unveiling patterns, unveiling things that you didn't know existed. I think you're gonna be discovering things about yourself this month that's going to help propel you forward. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Really practice being the observer of yourself this month, and that's going to help you. And then we have Rainbow Transference. Okay, so there's two things with this. One, the energy that you bring into environments, into relationships is what you're going to have reflected to you. And secondly, you want to be careful of taking people's energy and absorbing people's energy. That's not going to be good for you this month. So you might be extra prone to doing that. So I would be super conscientious of that. Make sure you're on top of your energetic hygiene so you don't soak other people up like a sponge. You do not want to do that. So it's more about you taking care of you so that the energy that you're storing within your body is reflected to you in relationships. That's ideal. Absorption of other people's stuff is not ideal. Okay, and then we have Liminal. Breathe through the confusion, discover fledgling inspiration. Uncertain places are where the most exciting visions are born. The zone of infinite possibility calls you into a time of magic. So this is that frustrating fact that all of the good stuff that you want exists in the unknown. So you have to step into that in order to really tap into it and claim it. Now, the central energy for you this month is the Wheel of Fortune. So a lot of this is going to be decided by you. And that's also what this is highlighting as well. It's like all of this is up to you. It's your free will, it's your discretion, it's your choice. The Wheel of Fortune leaves it up to you. So it's like, yeah, sure, it's turning in your favor, but at the same time, you can slip back into old patterns. You can do things the way you've always done them, right? That's something that always exists. And so you want to make sure that if you're wanting something new, if you're wanting something different, you have to be that person. You can't just like go on autopilot. You don't want to do that. The crossing energy is the Tower. Yep. So you are being called to evolve this month, big time. There's big evolution on the table. So it's like all of the stuff that isn't working out, all of the things that need to be let go of, all of the elements that are no longer serving you want to be shed. Your soul wants to grow. Your spirit really wants to grow. I'm seeing the Tower as having you walk away from a lot of things. So this is an active choice. This isn't like something in your environment that's going awry. I'm getting this as like the counterpart to the Wheel of Fortune. It's like if you want more, you have to let go of this stuff that isn't working. And in order to expand, you have to shed all of the stuff that's holding you back. And that's just the way it is. Now, what you have moving out in the month of March is the Six of Pentacles. So I'm actually seeing this as overgiving. So maybe giving too much to people. I'm saying that because we have rainbow transference on the table. If this card weren't here, I would be saying something different, but you need to focus on reciprocity. Are you taking too much, or have you been giving too much? Like where are you on that spectrum? And if you're in the over-functioning, over-giving category, you want to reel that in and take it back for yourself. And if you feel like you're just, again, absorbing too much of other people's energy. So, for example, what I mean by that, let me clarify. The symptoms of that would look like constantly needing to be around people, constantly needing to talk to people, constantly tapping into other people for your own energy rather than cultivating it yourself. Because ideally, you would cultivate your energy solo. That's a solo practice that you do. This is highlighting, you want to figure out, is that what you're doing, or are you constantly in a state of needing stimulation from other people? And that will answer your question. And then the oncoming energy is strength. Okay, so this is you in your element. I'm getting this as rebuilding strength, right? Finding strength within yourself, wherever that might be for you. And it's coming from an imbalanced place, because this is highlighting the imbalance, wherever that may have been, or the focus on reciprocation and whatever variation that is for you. And then moving away from all of the things that are not working when it comes to that, and then stepping into your power, your strength, your autonomy, your energy. Now, the outward manifestation is the world, so completion of cycles, resolution. And it's funny, both of these cards have all the fixed signs, so the Wheel of Fortune and the World are highlighting the fixed signs. You can see all the symbols on them. So let me clarify the world, because I do want a little bit more context on that. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so anytime we experience a sense of completion or something wrapping up, remember that we can confuse the empty space, or we can confuse the up level with boredom or things not being right. So for example, if you're used to having a lot of drama or chaos or intensity, or being around a whole bunch of people, and then all of a sudden you're spending more time with yourself, right? That could be something that you interpret as being wrong, or something that you misjudge and miscalculate. So just be aware, when things resolve, when there's things that get wrapped up, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just a new sensation and a new feeling that you're acclimating to. So make sure you keep that in mind. When things start to smooth out, sometimes we can think that the boredom is bad, or we can feel bored with it just because things are stable. So embrace the stability that you're creating, because it's like the cycle of struggle is ending. You know, the Five of Pentacles up here is showing you that the responsibility, because there's Saturn right there, that's paying off, or I'll show you here. There's the Saturn glyph there. All of that is paying off. Like, the work that you're doing, the effort that you're giving is paying off, but you also have to be aware of what cycles, what behaviors, whatever is causing an imbalance is something that you're resolving. And then in the subconscious, we have the Two of Swords. I kind of want to clarify this one as well. Ten of Swords. Okay. So we just want to focus in March, because remember, 1 month is not a long time. March is 1 month out of the year. And so for you, I'm getting that the subconscious, like with the Whale card, all of the personal discoveries and revelations, you want to work on releasing this month, letting go. So I wouldn't focus so much on implementation. Like, I don't think you need to start a bunch of stuff, right? I'm not getting any aces. I'm getting all resolution and clearing cards on the table, building strength. You need space in order to do that. So if you focus too much on what you're filling your space with, for the time being, that might overwhelm you. I think you need to kind of tediously go through and see what isn't working, what do I need to let go of, what have I outgrown. It's about identifying what that is so you actually have the space to be intentional with what's occupying your world in the environment around you. That's what you're auditing this month. And the first step to a proper audit of your life is understanding, what have I outgrown? What am I letting go of? All of those questions. So that's where I would focus more of your energy in March, because it's going to help you actually build strength, and then you're going to be able to implement whatever you want. But you need to do the back end work. You need to create the space first before you can start adding a bunch of things. The advice for you is the Seven of Cups. Yep, I'm telling you, if you try to tackle too many pieces of the puzzle all at the same time, you're going to get overwhelmed. Because this Seven of Cups in particular looks like overwhelm. It's not a buttery smooth, oh, this is so easy. It's highlighting overwhelm. So what I would say is just focus on release this month. Just focus on what you're moving away from. Create some space. And then moving into implementation towards the end of the month, or when you feel like you really have that space. The environment is the Chariot, so keep moving forward. This looks like an encouragement card when I'm reading it for you. And it's simply highlighting that things are full steam ahead right now. You don't need to push and force anything. It's already happening. And that's why focusing on adjusting and realigning and clearing things out is really going to serve you, because progress is already being made. You don't have to force any of that. This gets to be organic. The way that things unfold and how things are moving forward really is an area that you kind of get to take a break. Of course, we're manifesting all the time, but it's something where you don't have to push at all. Like, things are already moving. You just need to evaluate yourself, get clear on what you're intending, and let everything else just click into place. I'm getting that the internal adjustments are going to have a really massive impact on your environment, so don't underestimate that. Hopes and fears, we have the Hanged Man. So it looks again like fear of boredom. That's the main thing that's coming up, is fear of it being this way forever. And as I said, it's 1 month. It's not forever. This isn't permanent. It's just that there's different cycles that we have to go through, and this is audit time for you. This is, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you know we have spring coming up in March. And so it's kind of like this spring cleaning month. You need to get that done so you can have a tidy home, a tidy environment, a tidy, energetic environment and space for yourself. So don't fear this. It's like the Hanged Man shows a lot of consistency and stability, which that might be the hope, is for you to get into a consistent and stable space. But then there's also, but is it going to be this way forever? I know that's not true because you have the Chariot sitting underneath it. But, you know, don't fall into the trap of thinking life is boring. It's not by any means. And then the outcome is the Magician. See, as I said, by the end of the month is really where you're going to start being able to fill in those gaps and fill in those blanks wherever they might be, wherever you may have created them in the month of March. So be patient with this process for sure. There's a lot of stuff that's wrapping up in March, so you just need to hang tight while all of that happens, set yourself up for success, and then know that you can definitely get into full-blown building and sculpting as you move a little bit farther into March. Let's get into the timeline, first, second, third, and fourth quarter of the month. So the first quarter of March, how you're starting things off is the Four of Shells, soul searching, reevaluation. That's what this entire process is about. The reevaluation process is key for you, and I'm just getting that the Four of Shells is about offers being rejected. So this is a time when you're probably going to want to say no to things and getting clear on that. I'm not saying everything. just be really intentional with what you're looking for, and you might find that it's easier for you to turn down offers, or maybe it's really challenging, but that is going to serve you better so that you don't overwhelm, you don't overstimulate, you don't do too much to the point where it just leads you to the same cycle or down the same path. So it's really be intentional with your yeses and nos, and just pay attention. Second quarter, we have the Three of Shells, playfulness, bliss. See, this is where and why space matters. Space matters so that you can have pockets of this. If you're filling every nook and cranny with old stuff, it's just not going to feel right. It's not going to feel good. So by being intentional, it's really going to, with what you're saying yes and no to, it's really going to open that space up for you. And you actually have some breathing room here. I'm getting that it's like you ease into the month and things they really open up. And then the third quarter, we have the Six of Crystals, synergy, gratitude. Okay, so same card that we had here. I think you have a different relationship to reciprocity and balance. I think that's really what's developing. How much are you giving to yourself? How much are you tapping into others? How much are you feeling like you need others compared to what you're cultivating yourself? It's all of that stuff is readjusting, and you're kind of coming into more of a harmonious space with that. And then wrapping up the month, we have the Empress, beauty, abundance. This is also self-care and just being really clear on what your needs are. So I think all of this is in service of you being able to identify your needs in a way that works for you, and being able to act on them. So they move away from just being conceptual, and they evolve into actual practices by the end of the month. But again, the key thing here is that you need space in order to do that, right? So if you're working yourself to the bone and there is no space, then this isn't going to be as easily accessible. So just make sure that you keep that in mind. Keep a clear focus on what you need. Let's do a 3-card pick. So you're welcome to pick a card, any card, whichever one feels good to you. Ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity, support, whatever you're needing. Card number 1, we have the 10 of Cups. This is celebration, success, reasons to be grateful. So it's kind of like expect things to go well, expect things to work out, expect things to be easy. Just allow yourself to marinate in this, and that's really going to, it's really going to serve you. It's about positive expectation without attachment to the outcome. And that's a delicate balance that can be kind of challenging to master, because the trick to this energy is not making the assumption that you know exactly what you need. So that is kind of the blind spot that a lot of people have. So I would just say, let yourself relax into trusting this and just kind of ride the wave. Card number 2, we have the Father of Cups. Okay, so this is about mastering your emotions, being really clear and grounded around your emotions rather than letting them steer you around. If we were stuck in our emotional bodies all the time and it was just driving us everywhere, it would be a hot mess. So this is about understanding and integrating them rather than letting them run you. So however that's showing up for you, this is kind of what needs to be done or what needs to be focused on and what you're evolving into. And then card number 3, we have the 4 of Swords. So there's a need for rest and contemplation. This is referring to meditation as well. I'm just getting the highlighted third eye, 6th chakra area. So it's kind of like you can tap into your own wisdom and information at any time. You just have to get quiet. If you never have the space or the peace or the quiet in order to hear that whisper, then it's just going to go unnoticed. So if you're needing to access that, it's time to slow down, get quiet, go into rest mode, and tap into that part of yourself for the answers. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, everybody. I really, really appreciate you more than you could possibly know. And I do, as I said in the beginning, have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I have a manifestation class that's coming out. I have just so many things in the works. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing and sign up for my newsletter to get the best prices, stay up to date, the best time slots for all of the stuff that I have coming. And until next time, have a beautiful, beautiful March, everybody. I am sending you so much love. If you need to submit a prayer request, you are more than welcome to do so at onyxhealing.com. All of the links for everything is in the description box below, as well as a list of all of the decks that I've used today. So you're welcome to check that out if you liked any of the decks that I've used. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.